Alright, we're going to make the 2x2 flat cylindrical piece now. And we'll go ahead and start a sketch. We're going to do this from the top surface. And we're actually going to start this as a square, and we'll fill at the corners. Actually, we're not going to fill it. We'll cut out a circle in a little bit to turn it into the cylinder. So it's going to start out as a double size. So instead of 5/16, it's going to be 10/16 in width both ways. 10/16. And we're going to go ahead and give it thickness. And because it's not standard Lego is 3/8 tall. This is going to be a flat Lego, so it'll only be 1/8 tall because it takes 3 flat Legos to build a standard Lego. And we're going to go ahead and put a knob onto this. We'll just throw one circle on with a diameter of 3/16 and a distance to the sides of 5/32 both ways. And then we'll go ahead and extrude that guy up 1/16 in height. And we need 4 of them, so we're going to go ahead and rectangular pattern that feature in both directions, the spacing of 5/16. Oops, I didn't mean to end that. Let's bring that back. Edit feature, second direction. Switch the direction, spacing 5/16. There it is. Okay, now we're going to round this thing off. So I'm going to go ahead and look right down at it, and I'm going to put a sketch on there. And I'm going to take a circle, and I'm going to just throw it on there. And you need to make sure the center is actually centered, so it should be 5/16 off the top and off the side. So 5/16 one way, 5/16 this way. And I want this to have the diameter of 2 Lego pieces, so that's going to be 10/16, which is the same thing as 5/8. So it looks like that. And I'm going to take a rectangle because I need to be able to select everything outside of it. I'm just going to put a big rectangle on there. And I'm going to go to extrude, cut, and I want to select everything that's outside that circle. So I just did it. Actually, I don't even think I needed that big square. So anyways, I've got everything except for the circle selected. And I'm going to delete, or I'm going to cut, I'm going to say all, so it goes both directions. And we'll say, let's go ahead and tell it to go both directions, and we'll say OK. So now, and you'll see it shaved off a little of the top knobs, and that is how Lego does it. The top knobs do get a little cut to them. All right, I'm going to turn this thing over, and I'm going to do a shell. Select that bottom face, and we're going to leave it with a thickness of 1/16, just like that. And now we're going to put a circular knob right in the middle, and it's going to be 2 circles, just like that. And the inside circle is going to have a diameter of 3/16. The outside diameter is going to be dictated by where the knob needs to fit. So I'm going to go project geometry, and I'm going to select the geometry from the knob that's actually on the top, and I'm going to go to tangent and tell that outside circle to be tangent to the knob circle. So now I know exactly where this needs to be. So I can then extrude that in between. I'm going to tell it to come up to this surface. We'll hit OK. And we now have that little knob that goes in the middle. Now what we need to do is we need to cut out a little bit around each of these because knobs need to be able to fit in there. And the way we're going to do that is put another sketch on this surface, and we're going to project the geometry of where the knob actually is. And then once I've done that, I can just go to extrude, cut, and no, we're going to have to do that a little different then. Okay, let's go back into that sketch. We're still in the sketch. Okay, and I'm actually going to we're going to take a step back here. Now we projected the geometry of the knob on top when we were looking at that sketch. So it's this circle right here. Now what I'm going to do is let's make sure that sketch is active. So right click and say edit sketch. So we're actually adjusting the sketch. I'm going to right click and go to slice graphics. That removes everything in front of the sketch, so we're looking directly at it. Now the problem was that this circle was not enclosed because that little sliver right there was cut out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a circle, and I'm just going to put it right on that center point, and I'm going to drop it right onto the arc that we're looking at. Now I have a real circle, which means I can now go to extrude, and I can say cut that, not that, extrude. We'll select that circle, and we're going to cut this direction, and let's tell it to cut everything, all. So I say OK. So it is now cut what we need removed for a knob to fit there, and that gives us a compatible Lego. And I'm going to circular pattern that cut feature, which was this extrusion 5, around this circle. It's around that axis, and I need 4 of them, and we'll say OK, and we now have the openings for pegs to fit into. It's not exactly how Lego does it, but it will work.